The Mona Lisa wasn't even famous until someone stole it. If you walked into the Louvre Museum in Paris today, you'd see a bulletproof glass wall, a sea of tourists with iPhones, and more security guards than a government building. All of that, the fame, the crowds, the obsession, exists because of a single Monday morning in 1911. Before that day, the Mona Lisa was just another painting in a room full of masterpieces. She wasn't a celebrity, she was just that Italian lady on the wall. But then, Vincenzo Peruggia walked in. He was a handyman who had spent the previous year installing the very glass cases meant to protect the art. He knew the locks, he knew the guard schedules, and he knew exactly how much nobody was paying attention. The Louvre was closed on Mondays for maintenance, so seeing a man in a white worker's smock wasn't unusual. Vincenzo simply walked into the salon care, lifted the 200-pound painting and its heavy frame off the wall, and ducked into a nearby service stairwell. He ripped the painting out of its frame, wrapped his white smock around the wood panel, and tucked it under his arm. When he reached the exit, the door was locked. He sat down and waited. When a plumber walked by, Vincenzo just complained that the door was stuck. The plumber, thinking he was helping a fellow worker, opened the door and wished him a good day. Vincenzo walked out with the painting hidden under a dirty coat. The Louvre didn't even know it was stolen. The next morning, the museum opened to the public. People walked past the empty spot on the wall for 24 hours. One artist actually complained to a guard about the missing painting, and the guard just shrugged and said, "Oh, it's probably in the photography studio being scanned for the catalog." It wasn't until the following day, Tuesday, that they checked the studio and realized the Mona Lisa was gone. Suddenly, it was the biggest news story on the planet. The empty space on the wall became a tourist attraction. Thousands of people lined up just to see where the painting used to be. The police were so desperate they actually interrogated Pablo Picasso as a suspect. While the world was losing its mind, his painting was sitting in a false bottom trunk in a tiny cramped apartment just a few blocks away from the museum. Vincenzo kept it there for 2 years. He wasn't trying to sell it. He claimed he was a patriot. He believed Napoleon had stolen the painting from Italy, and he wanted to return it to its rightful home. The irony? Leonardo da Vinci actually moved to France and sold the painting to the king legally. Vincenzo was a hero in his own head, but a terrible historian. Eventually, he tried to sell the painting to an art dealer in Florence, Italy, thinking they would reward him for his patriotism. Instead, the dealer called the police. Vincenzo only served 7 months in prison. In Italy, they treated him like a folk hero. But the real winner was the Mona Lisa. She went on a victory tour across Europe before returning to Paris. By the time she got back to the Louvre, she was the most famous woman in the world, not because of her smile, but because she was the one who got away. It's one of the great ironies of history. The world's most famous painting didn't become a household name because of Leonardo da Vinci's brushstrokes. It became a legend because a handyman in a white smock proved that sometimes, the best way to make people notice something is to make it disappear. She's been locked behind bulletproof glass ever since. Apparently, once you've been smuggled out of the Louvre under a handyman's arm, you don't just trust the public anymore. You watch them. And she's been watching us ever since.